us, for me, it looked like only one side was trying to go out and win that game.
Yeah, looked that way to me as well, Toby. Frustrating not to win. I know Fisher's had to pull off two. You know what I mean? Sorry, someone's trying to enter the conference. He's had to pull off two good saves. Yeah, apart from that, we go 1-0 up. We should go 1-0 up after a minute. Within a minute, a goal that's onside. So that's frustrating. They score with a goal that's pretty much the same as the decision they make against Cami, but probably more offside than Cami is even close to being. That goes against us. And then the guys responded really well. Really well. Didn't have enough quality in the final third today, for sure. Got in there numerous times and then rushed the cross. That final pass wasn't quite good enough. Anxiety took over a little bit, which is frustrating, and we need to improve. We need to improve on that for sure, because we didn't have enough shots on target. But yeah, I think you're right. I think we dominated the game. I think they probably, they defended well. You have to give credit to their players for sticking to it and throwing their body in the way, and they got a lot of people behind the ball. But we have to be able to break that down and show that a little bit more quality, because we got in the box numerous times. So we have to have that last pass. So yeah, I'm frustrated. I'm disappointed we didn't win, and I think the players are as well. But we didn't get beat. It's important. We responded really well to going a goal down, which has happened too many times, and it's frustrating. But overall, the performance was okay. There was no problems with the performance at all. As you said, completely dominant. One team trying to win it, and they probably got in the end what they would. I think they accepted towards the end that they were coming for a draw and got it, and they'll go home happier than us, I think.
What did you think when they scored that opener? Then was it a case of no, not again?
Yeah, I think the players were frustrated because we should be 1-0 up. It's another decision that's gone against us, and it shouldn't. Not blaming it at all, but it's true. And then Matti Soranado gets fouled twice, tries to be honest and stay on his feet, and it goes against him because, let's get it right. He's in the box with the ball at his feet twice, running towards goal. There's no reason for him to go down. There's no reason unless there's contact. So that's common sense, that's logic, goes against us. So the players were frustrated. They were really frustrated. So that's why I've got so much respect and belief in these players, the way they respond and the resilience they show. But we have to show it too often. At that point, they'd had nothing in the game at all, and they got a goal out of nowhere. So it's frustrating, really frustrating. But they responded really well. And as you said, we were the only team really. We were in control of the game and really trying to win it. And we gave them two chances on the counter-attack, which we shouldn't. So we need to look at that. But overall, I'm not disappointed with the performance. I'm disappointed with aspects of it, especially in the final third.
As you mentioned, though, it's a point, and I think Dean Lewington said a few weeks ago you may well have lost that game.
Yeah, I think we're in a better place. I think we're growing as a group all the time. People are getting, really coming towards their top fitness levels now. Richard Keogh, people like that. Scotty Fraser's getting there. So I thought, Jordan Houghton was excellent again today. Matty was great, and then got really tired and started cramping up towards the end. So I think, teams are having to work really hard to get something from us. And we need to make sure all the good work we do on the ball and out of possession, winning it quickly, winning it back quickly, it has to count for something. And just didn't do well enough in the final third today. But great credit to the guys for digging in, coming back from 1-0 down, and making sure we come away with at least a point.
That man Scott Fraser again, not a penalty this time. I think he's probably quite happy not to have got one from open play now.
Yeah, he deserved it. I think we didn't get him on the ball enough in the second half, which is, a couple of things really. It's the way they just put so many bodies behind the ball and really closed the distances. It made it difficult for him to get on the ball in dangerous areas. We changed things when Ben came on and he got more of the ball again and he played a couple of lovely balls through to Matty, as I said, which should have maybe ended up in penalties, but it didn't. So he's got real quality. Ben Gladwin has as well. You saw when he come on. So yeah, he's been great. He's going to be really good for us, and we have to make sure when a team does that, we need to remain composed. We need to remain calm. We need to, pick that extra pass and not try and force things and get players on the ball where we want them. Where we want them on the ball, and we've done that at times. It was just that last bit that just wasn't quite good enough today.
It's something we've seen at the Stadium MK plenty of times from plenty of teams as well, sitting back that deep and almost inviting you to try and break them down.
Yeah, I think from the way they've set up, it was different to how we've watched them previous games. I think I keep saying that, it seems to be the same every week. They came to make it difficult and put a lot of bodies behind the ball, and it is tough. But as I said to you before, we need to live up to that, and we need to find ways to make sure that it's not enough to stop us or enough to beat it. I think the most pleasing thing was, because it would be really easy in a derby, in a game like that, to sort of get dragged into a game that we didn't want to get dragged into. It become a bit disjointed, but it didn't really get like that at any point. I think we had complete control of the game, and it was the game, we dictated what style of game it was, which is why I leave the game a bit disappointed we haven't won. But yeah, teams are making it tough. It's a sign of respect the players have earned, and we need to make sure we find ways to beat whatever comes, whether it's teams who come and try and press us up high, whether they sit back, whatever they do, we have to be ready for it and prepared.
With another point on the board, it's obviously momentum heading into Tuesday, and I suppose that's ultimately one of the things you're going to take from it.
Yeah, I think it's 4 points from 2 games, and we need to go and try and win on Tuesday. Simple as that. So if we do, it's been a great week. So yeah, all the focus now is analysing this game, getting prepared for Tuesday, and making sure we go there and put in a performance and win a game of football.
Did not having the fans in take a little bit of the edge out of it being a derby, do you think?
Yeah, I think changes the game really. I think that last half hour, especially if we have the fans behind the goal, completely changes their mentality, the way they feel, creates a little bit of anxiety in them, especially when they just don't have the ball. We have so much of the ball. I feel like when we have that much of the ball, it makes it a little bit easier for teams when their fans, their fans want them to have the ball. When they don't, they get a bit anxious. So there's none of that. There's none of that at the minute. So we are missing that for sure, especially when we are trying to find a winner, trying to really take the game to someone. We're missing that because at times last season you just knew it was coming. You felt it. The crowd could feel it, and almost they're attracting the ball towards the goal. And so we are missing that, but we need to find a way to work around it because it's the same for every team. So yeah, we need to make sure we turn these sort of games into 3 points.
I know you don't really like singling out players, but I'll do it for you. I thought Jordan Houghton was standout today in a position that we've seen him play plenty of times, but he'd been kept out the side by David Kasumu of late, and I think he's slotted back in perfectly. Yeah,
I think he's been outstanding for 2 games. I think he's probably been one of our best players for the last 2 games, which is credit to him. When he came out, disappointed, because he's been such a big part of what we've done since we've taken over. So he has been disappointed, but his reaction's outstanding. One of the best professionals you could work with, day to day, and yeah, he's been top for the last 2 games, so he has to maintain that level of performance now.
Nice one. Cheers, Russ.
No probs.
As you said earlier, 4 points in 2 games this week. It's the first time this season that the team's won points in back-to-back league games. Hopefully this can now be the start of a bit of a run.
Yeah, I hope so. It needs to be, yeah. We've had, as I said, performance-wise this season have been overall really satisfied, but some of the results just haven't been good enough. It's that simple. So we need to make sure we keep building. I think you can see the team's growing all the time. We're having to tweak things game to game. The personnel, I think we've got such a strong. Look at the bench today, how strong that is. They've all been players that have been big for us at some point. So yeah, we've got some really, really important games coming up, and it's another, tough run. But yeah, we've got to try and build some momentum now for sure as a group, and have to make sure that we go into Tuesday. And as I said, if we go and win on Tuesday, it's been a brilliant week.
Steve Walker looked like he might have taken a bit of a knock during the game just before he came off. Any word on how he's feeling?
Yeah, he's fine. He just took a knock on his ankle. He was, he felt good before the game, but he felt really tired just before coming off. And again, it's just a lack of football. We had Colton, who'd been ill all week, not ready to play, and Joe, who's finding his way back after having a small injury. So yeah, it's tough for these guys. It's such a demanding position for us, the way they have to go and press and get in their position quickly and be available for the guys at the back. So it's a tough position, and he felt that towards the end, but he'll be fine.
Cheers, Wes.
No problems.
Spoken in the week about trying to get a consistent starting 11, and you named an unchanged one today. Is that sort of getting closer to the goal of being able to name that sort of consistent?
Yeah, I think it's really tough with a condensed season and the hectic schedule. But I said before the game that they deserved the chance to play again, and I thought on the whole they were excellent. Performance was very good, apart from that last little bit. So yeah, we want to try and be as consistent as possible. But we also have to acknowledge that there are a lot of games, and people are the physical expectations and demands in different positions are really high. Some are less than others, obviously, but some are really high, and it's really difficult to keep asking those guys to go and keep going again. So we have to make sure we're checking how people feel, recover properly, and assess the situation on a daily basis. And we'll have to wait and see Tuesday how everyone's feeling, and if we can, name us the same team, or if we need to make a few changes.
Absolutely. I think what position is sort of like a potential for balance? Harvey and Sorinola as a wing back. Is it good to have that sort of competition around also in multiple other positions as well? Because that's what you're going to need really when the season is tight as it is.
Yeah, I think we've got competition every position. I think the bench shows you that. I think the people not even in the squad today show you that. With Bailey and Louis and everyone that was not in the squad today. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. That's football. You need to play at a certain level to make sure you stay in the team, because everyone knows now there's people just waiting and ready to come in and perform. And we trust everyone that they can produce a performance out on the pitch. So yeah, it's great competition. I think Danny's been excellent. He's got a lot of assists already. Matty's come in. He should have probably had 2 penalties today. A bit more composure. He would have had a couple of assists as well, but he was fantastic. And he was brilliant Tuesdays. And we're going to have to manage him, because he cramped up towards the end. He can't play every single game, but we've got someone we really believe in who's got a lot of potential. But he knows that if he doesn't perform, Danny's coming in, it's vice versa. And Matty can do both sides with Regan. So, yeah, we've got good depth. We're not huge in numbers, the squad, but there's good quality and good depth in every position.
Sure. Cheers.
No problems.